This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weight. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show.
Hey, what up? Happy Tuesday. Jason Walker Show inside the Off-the-Wall Mancave as we get ready for a big day today. We are going to chat with Aubrey McMaster, Jefferson High coach. Girls ranked 5th in the state. We are going to check in with Brandon Day, coming off the big win in Crosstown, Helena High boys. And we're going to talk to Logan Todorovich, who is headed off to Baylor this summer. Looking forward to chatting with her. The walk-up brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, the premier log home company in the industry. 3 distinct divisions, so you can create the log home of your dreams and your budget. Check them out at yourcustomlog.com. Mentioned Crosstown last week. Had a lot of fun covering those with SWX. And man, oh man, Helena High getting the sweep. Girls led throughout and got the big win. Avery Kraft leading the way. And then the boys coming back from an 18-5 deficit to get the 10-point victory, 46-36, outscored Capital 41-18 after the first quarter, and got the big victory in Crosstown last Friday night. You had Cat Grizz over the weekend. The women of Montana State got the win. Bobcat men lose. And then last night, Lady Grizz hit 16 of 37 threes and rolled at Weber State, while Montana State shorthanded. Injuries and more injuries fell to Idaho State on the road. So there is that. We've got your Auto Concepts Performance of the Week coming up. Congratulations to Laurel, Class A Duals Champ. Huntley Project, the Class B Duals Champ, and Flathead, the Class AA Duals Champ. Carroll men and women each sitting in first after picking up wins. I will be at Carroll Saturday with SWX, calling the men and the women against Providence. Going to be fun with those two games, and looking forward to that. Oh, man. Lots of great stuff. Grizz men got a win last night. The Bobcat men won as well in hoops. Frontier Conference heating up. Jordan Sweeney is the player of the week in the Frontier for the women. Andrew Cook for the men. Jamie Pickens could have easily won player of the week. She had 20 points, 18 rebounds against Northern. Career high in rebounds. Also has 5 consecutive double-doubles. And, oh, by the way, she also had 6 assists. Since Frontier Conference play started January 6th, Pickens averaging 17.5 points, 14 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 2 blocks. She's very good. Providence beat Tech by 12 on Saturday. Ashley Maldonado is going to be the newcomer of the year. She had 15 and 4. Western defeated Rocky 86-65. Joelnell Momberg had 24 points. Pickens had 16 and 11 in a win at Rocky last Thursday. Maddie Garrett's with 18 points. Providence beat Northern. Maldonado had 20 points, 9 boards. Western beat Tech last week as well. Sweeney had 19 points, 7 assists. Carroll women sitting on top at 5-0. Battle for first this coming Saturday at the PE Center. Providence 4-1. And Carroll owns the tiebreak right now, having beaten Providence earlier this season in Great Falls. Western 3-2, Northern 2-3, Tech's 1-4, and Rocky is 0-5 in the Frontier. And Rocky had a lot of positives going into conference play, but struggled in conference play. Let's see here. On the men's side, Andrew Cook, the player of the week, as we mentioned. Providence beat Tech, upset, 70-59. Western beat Rocky in overtime, 109-104. Man. Some pretty good basketball in the Frontier. There is one young lady that used to play basketball, decided to take the year off, her senior year, to focus on track. And she's headed to Baylor, announced her commitment a couple weeks ago, and joining us in the Off-the-Wall Mancave to talk about that is the great Logan Todorovich. Here, Jason Walker Show. All right, well, good morning, Miss Todorovich. How is life since you made your commitment, which we'll talk about here in a second?
It's been good, yes.
Were you at the Crosstown game last week?
I was, yes.
Your sister played pretty well.
Yeah, she did very well.
Didn't you play basketball for a couple years?
Yes, I played until junior year.
Why'd you give it up?
I think it was just like a decision I wanted to make just for myself and track reasons and just stuff like that.
Gotcha. Makes sense. I mean, you are trying to go some, back-to-back titles with the team and some individual stuff. So committing to Baylor, how was that? And I know you visited some pretty awesome schools, but why Baylor at the end?
I chose Baylor. I just got like a feeling there. I just thought that I fit well, and I really liked it. So that's kind of why I chose it.
I saw an interview last week on SWX that you said it was a lot like Montana, even though it was Texas.
Yeah. Yes.
How is that?
I think it was just like the town. I mean, it's a bigger town, but it's not too big. The people there were very nice everywhere. It was nice, yeah.
Any concerns about going to Waco? I mean, it is kind of a long ways away.
I think I knew going into this whole process that I wasn't going to be close to home.
Okay.
And so the distancing wasn't like a big thing for me. But
what are you going to compete in?
I'm doing the heptathlon and jumps and maybe hurdles.
Wow, the heptathlon. That's not an easy event for 2 days.
No.
How'd you decide on that? I mean, that takes a lot of mental will. Forget about physicality, but the mental will.
Yes, I think it's just something that I've been doing these last couple of years. I enjoy all those events. So being able to do them in one event and then competing with the girls who do them too is super fun and meeting so many new people.
Logan Todorovich joining us here, Jason Walker Show. So somebody brought this up the other day, but did you get to keep all the uniforms of the schools you visited, or was those just pictures?
Those were just pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd have a pretty impressive roster of jerseys there.
Yeah.
What other schools did you visit?
I visited Michigan State, Oregon State, Indiana, Missouri, and then Baylor.
Okay. Cats and Grizz, not on the radar?
I talked to them, yes. I think it was just, they're both super good schools and great programs. I just think I wanted to go out of state.
Makes sense. Get away from the family a little bit.
Yes.
Especially dad.
Oh yeah.
I'm joking. He's a big dude. He could hurt me. He's a nice guy though.
Yes, he is a nice guy.
What was his reaction when you said, "Dad, I'm going to Baylor"?
I don't think he was super surprised. I think obviously he was really happy for me, but I mean, both my parents have been super supportive through the entire process. So
Is it gonna?
He was excited for me.
Is it gonna stink more to be away from the parents or Maddie?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I think it depends on the situation.
Okay.
But probably Maddie, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah. I mean, you guys have been very, very tight growing up. So,
Yeah.
you know, you guys were on the show together, I believe, last spring, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Okay. How is the coaching at Waco? How does it compare to Coach Jesse Zentz?
I mean, obviously, I think that I have a pretty high standard with coaches because of the entire track coaching staff at Helena High. And so I think when I went to Waco and I met these coaches and I could see a lot of the same characteristics as them, I think that was just like good to see too, because coming from a program with such good coaches, obviously that's something that I want in my future. And so I think the coaching staff at Waco did that, and I think they were really good too. So that was nice.
When you look at your decision, did any of it boil down to weather? Because Michigan State can be cold. Oregon State, I mean, not terrible, but Missouri can be chilly. They have tornadoes. It's just going to be hot and maybe some hurricane in Waco.
Yeah. So, I mean, wouldn't say like anything was directly connected to weather, but I think it being warmer down there is something that I like too, because I like being outside, running outside, and being able to run outside year round would be nice.
Are you going to do indoor and outdoor?
Yes.
Nice. Logan Todorovich, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. She is committed to Baylor. You've got a final senior spring track season coming up. How are you preparing?
I mean, doing everything that I normally do. I think I'm excited for it, and I think the rest of the girls on the team are excited because I think we have a lot of goals this year, and so I think just obviously doing everything we can to get to those goals in practice and stuff.
Looking for a three-peat. It's not easy to do.
No, it's not.
Especially,
but we're going to do it.
Especially in high school with graduation and you know, some girls don't come back out for track. But what is it about this team that is going to have enough points?
I think there's so many girls on this team who can score points at state for us. And I think a lot of them are committed to track. And I think that the program that Jesse built makes it so these girls want to come out to track and that they enjoy track. And so I think having that kind of place just makes it a lot easier to want to come and do well for everybody.
Is there competition with the boys team? I'm going to take that as a yes.
Yes, I guess.
Of course. I mean, they did a nice job winning state a few years ago, but you guys have gone back to back.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have.
It's not just track, it's field as well. So this team is very successful. How do you keep it going?
I think just being able to support each other too, because when you have someone who's supportive and someone who wants you to do well, I mean, you're going to want to do well for them and yourself. And so I think being able to have so many girls who care a lot about the sport and care about winning, I think it makes it a lot easier to go out there and compete when you have so many people behind you that are supporting you.
Do you miss basketball?
Some parts.
What was it like at Crosstown last week? Because the student sections were getting pretty fired up with each other.
Yeah, it was fun. I think it always gets pretty kind of like that. But I think, I mean, obviously watching Helena High win both games, that was nice to see. But yeah, it was good.
I didn't expect the boys to come back the way they did. That was a heck of a comeback.
That was a good game, yeah.
crosstown track is a lot different than football or basketball or volleyball. So, I mean, you guys run together in the off season, I'm sure. So how do you guys compete crosstown again, you know, when it's not the physicality of another sport? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say for track, obviously there still is that like big rivalry and like competition. But I think that for track, it's more, doesn't really begin until you are getting on that track and you're going to start. I think people are a little bit nicer in track. But obviously, yeah, without it being so physical, like touching wise, I guess. But I think it's a lot not so intense as it is in the other sports.
What are you going to major in down at Baylor?
As of right now, I'm not 100%, but either business or psychology.
Oh, okay. You can do both.
Yeah.
Study the psychology of business.
Yes.
You know, they got a pretty good men's basketball and women's basketball team down there too. Are you excited to go be part of that student experience?
Yes, I think that the Baylor athletics are really, really good. So I think I'm excited to be a part and watch all those too.
So when are you going to leave for Waco? I know we have, 4 months before graduation here, but when do you leave?
I leave in the middle of August.
Okay. So you get the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of goof around, spend time with the sis, friends.
Yes.
Okay. Best friend on the track team that's not named Todorovich.
Ooh. I don't know. I have a lot of friends on the track team.
You don't want to single one out? Come on.
I don't think I like everybody, but I think I have two really good hurdle buddies.
Okay.
Mekti and Addie, but okay. I think I like everybody pretty much.
Why hurdles?
Like why I did the hurdles?
Yeah.
Well, I've always liked sprinting, and so I just think, and I like jumping, so I think when I was first introduced to the hurdles, I kind of thought, oh, this might be actually kind of fun, and then I got into it, and then from there, I liked it, and I kept going.
Worst crash you've had doing hurdles?
I don't want to jinx myself or anything, but I've never fallen in an actual competition before.
Okay.
But I did at Nike Nationals hit my knee really hard on one of the weighted hurdles. Ooh. And it stopped me and gave me a pretty big bruise on my knee, but that was probably the worst one.
Because you see athletes, and it doesn't matter the level, but they'll clip a hurdle, they'll scrape along the track, pieces of skin left all over the place. You get up and you finish. How tough is that?
I mean, I think obviously when you're going into a race, you just have to think like you're not going to fall. Otherwise you're going to fall. And so I think when you're in the moment and you fall, you're just like, the only thing that you want to do is get up and keep running. So I think it's more like at the time, it's not as bad as it is when like after it happens. And then you look back and you can feel it, the throbbing. And then you can also in your head, it's not the greatest thing mentally for you either.
No, of course.
Yeah.
When you're doing jumps, and I think a lot of people don't realize this, you have to jump high to go far. What's your vertical?
I haven't actually done my vertical for a while. Okay. Not a couple of years. I haven't done it for a couple of years.
I bet you it's up there.
Yeah, I bet Maddie's is higher though, but hers would be the one the really good one, I bet.
Can you touch the net in basketball?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How close are you to getting to the rim?
2.5 inches maybe.
Oh, that's not bad. That's a pretty good vertical.
Maybe a little. Yeah, I mean maybe 2. I don't know. Something close to that.
What are you, 5'7", 5'8"?
Yeah, I'm 5'8", almost 5'9".
Okay. Man, do you realize how cool it is for someone from Helena to go to a Big 12 school like Baylor?
I'm very excited.
Has that set in?
I think it's starting to set in a little bit with me. I think just going through the whole process and then getting it over with, there's like a lot of emotions with it. but I think I'm very excited.
Well, we're excited for you. You've had a heck of a run in a Bengals uniform and multitude of uniforms. I know you're going to keep it going this spring and down at Baylor. Will you stay in touch? I mean, I'll probably talk to you after you win state again, so there's that. But when you get to college, will you stay in touch?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We're going to let you hurdle off to school. Have a great day.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Tell Maddie hi and congratulations. And we look forward to following you guys all spring as the Bengals chase down a three-peat.
Awesome. Thank you.
That is Logan Todorovich joining us off the Wall Mancave here, Jason Walker's show. And that's awesome. Congratulations to her and the whole family. That's pretty darn cool. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Brandon Day will recap last week's Wild Crosstown. And Aubrey McMaster from Jefferson High set to join us as well in the Off-the-Wall Mancave. The Walk-Up brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes. Veteran-owned, family-owned, woman-owned, and operated. Check them out at yourcustomlog.com. Brandon Day when we come back here. Jason Walker Show.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
For more than 20 years, Off-the-Wall Advertising has built a track record of success helping businesses like yours across the state of Montana. While working with hundreds of businesses, including Jason Walker Media, they have developed a system for success. Off-the-Wall Advertising utilizes indoor advertising, placing professional billboards in high-traffic locations. Let Off-the-Wall Advertising show you how to get the return on investment you expect from every advertising dollar. Off-the-Wall Advertising, along with The Jason Walker Show and Continental Divide Radio, have packages for even more bang for your buck. Contact Off the Wall today at offthewallmt.com to schedule a free consultation. Winters in Montana can be cold and snowy, so let Auto Concepts set up your vehicle with a remote starter system. A remote starter will get your car or truck warmed up on those cold Montana mornings before work or taking the kids to school. Auto Concepts is also the go-to place for everything to enhance your ride, from bumper guards to bed rugs and tonneau covers too. Let Auto Concepts make your commute or drive comfortable. Auto Concepts in Helena, the auto enhancement professionals.
Summer, the season to work hard, play hard. The days are heating up and getting longer. The smell of fresh cut grass, the hot sun on your skin. Who we kidding? We all know you're really thinking about having fun and relaxing at the Copper Club Casino. Meet your friends for a cold one. Play a $5 or $2. When you want great service, cold drinks, and fun entertainment, this is the place. The Copper Club Casino, where everybody knows your name any time of year. On Euclid, across from the Lundy Center, the Copper Club Casino.
There's only one place in Helena to cure your craving for Cajun cuisine, and that is Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys and catfish to jambalaya and much more, Cafe Zydeco has the best Cajun this side of New Orleans. And Cafe Zydeco cares about those that take care of us. Military, law enforcement, first responders can get your drink free as a way of saying thank you to those that protect us every day. If you're looking for a place to grab lunch or dinner, get the flavor of the Big Easy in Big Sky Country at Cafe Zydeco on Euclid in Helena.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back. Tuesday, Off the Wall Man Cave. Aubrey McMaster, Jefferson High girls coach, going to join us coming up. And if you're wondering why my hair's done, And I'm wearing a shirt with buttons and a collar. Be in Hamilton tonight, calling doubleheader Corvallis and Hamilton. Boys and girls. Boys of Hamilton won 10 in a row. It should be great. 2 great games, honestly. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to 2 games that were last week as well. And, well, I was looking forward to them, and then they happened, so I can't be looking forward to them now. Trying to remember what I'm saying. Helena High, boys and girls, each getting the win at Capital last week. And it was an exciting boys game. Boys fell down big first quarter from Helena High. Capital came out on fire. Give them a lot of credit. But give Helena High credit, too, the way they battled back and got the 10-point win, outscoring Capital 41-18 after falling behind 18-5. And joining us in the Off-the-Wall Mancave to chat about the win, head coach of the Bengal boys, Brandon Day, here, Jason Walker Show. All right, Coach, I saw you on Friday night over at Capitol High. Nice shoe game you had going on for Pink Night. Congratulations on that. That looked sharp.
I appreciate that. I only get to wear those a couple times a year, so it's nice to pull them out for sure.
It's also nice when you get a win. What was your thoughts in that first quarter when you're down 18-5?
A little bit of surprise, but at the same time, I wasn't. That bunch of boys for Capitol High, they're a good little squad, and they came out ready to go and kind of caught us on our heels. We didn't do a very good job with our initial game plan, and we had some issues with some of our switching and some of our defensive strategies, and we kind of got exposed early and made some changes.
Well, it looked to me, and I said it during the broadcast, that you guys seemed to step behind a little bit, and also especially on the offensive side, maybe trying to go too fast. And I said during the broadcast, Helena High almost needs to slow down to get back into this game. And I think that's kind of what you guys did.
Yeah, we offensively, we were trying to do too much too soon. Mm-hmm. And instead of letting the offense come to us and move the basketball and make the defense work, we were trying to kind of force the issue. And I think, it just took a little bit of time for those boys to settle in. And once they did, we kind of started clicking a little bit.
Well, and of course, it's not easy when the other team comes out firing and the other team is at home. I mean, it's a tough environment to settle down. And, Gary Turcotte's fond of saying the first 4 minutes of any half or quarter are the most important, and the last 4. But what'd you say in between quarters between the first and second?
Well, the biggest thing is that we closed fairly well. We hit a couple shots to close the quarter, kind of settled in a little bit. We just talked about, we changed up some defensive things there, which I think also helped us. But, it was really just about playing with composure. We're all right. They came out a little bit hot, so we got to settle in and play our game. And the boys responded pretty well. They, didn't see or sense any kind of panic. So they just kind of kept playing, and good things happened.
There was a point in the fourth quarter where you guys were down 1, tied a couple of times, and a couple of empty possessions. Even though you were getting the defensive stops, were you sitting there on the bench going, are we going to get over this? I mean, can we ever take the lead here?
No, that's exactly. I remember sitting on a knee, talking to Coach Wetzel, and I think it had to have been 5 possessions where we would get a stop and come down and not score. And we just could not, or they would score and we'd come down and answer. And we just couldn't get over that 3-point, 2-point hump. And it was killing me internally. But we just kept plugging away and obviously we closed it out all right.
I had the stats. I had 15 for Tevin Wetzel at the half, and it said he only ended up with 17 for the game. That's not right, is it?
Yeah, that is. I think that's accurate. And that, part of it was I think Jackson stepped up a little bit, and then also Caden Delcine. Caden had a big second half. He ended up with 9. So, he had some big shots for us. And Guy did a good job. He started taking more away from Tevin. and made some other guys try and score.
And they did. And Delcine hit that 3 to give you guys the lead finally. It was tough because, big boy for them. Dawes, he played so well, and he's such a big guy. And when they went to him, they had a lot of success, and it had to be frustrating defensively every time he touched the ball, knowing what was going to probably happen.
Yeah, he's a big kid, and he uses his body really well. And I even visiting with the guys yesterday, Tevin was just saying that, he's a strong kid. He moves well, he has good hands. He does a nice job in there. Our switching at the end caused a little bit of trouble with fronting and stuff. And, that's a tough pass, and we got lucky, come into the game, but he's definitely a tough matchup for us. We just don't have that size. We try to match physicality, but when you're lacking 100 pounds, it's tough. So he's definitely a solid player.
Yeah, and they've got some shooters they just could not hit that night. And after that first quarter, it was like the rim locked up on them a little bit, covered up.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that. We didn't come out like a team that had been there, but we closed like a team that had been there. And I think, you think about that bunch of boys, they haven't been in a crosstown or played in a live crosstown match. Where Tevin and Jackson and Dylan, those guys, some of those guys have. And I think that probably gave us a little bit of an edge at the end of the game. Maybe that's not what I'm thinking, but it just having that little bit of experience does go a long ways.
You guys have got 2 big ones this week as you get back into conference. It's last week was all about Capital. That's in the past now. Now you focus on Big Sky Eagles and the Butte Bulldogs Thursday and Saturday. What do we expect from these 2 teams?
Well, a lot of the same. Big Sky, again, 1-2-2 defense, 2-3 defense, going to press you, try to slow you down a little bit. Big Sky has some scorers, but they're small. So that'll be a nice change for our battle from last week. But but they're tough. They play really well together. Big Sky's strength is that they play good team basketball, and they're active and they work really hard. Butte's a little different matchup with Ledke. Ledke's a solid player. He's a tough matchup again. Gets to the rim really well, finishes well. Their defense, they're mostly a man crew. They do have some length, some young guys coming up. So they're going to be, some tougher matchups with length, but they're young, still kind of developing physicality-wise and working on that. But both teams solid. That's one thing Guy and I were talking about across town is that the conference is it's tough. It's a tough matchup. Everybody's tough. There's no easy ones in this conference, and we'll definitely have to show up and play.
Brandon Day joining us, Helena High boys coach. Go back to Tevin Wetzel for a second, and I mentioned this during the SWX broadcast as well, that it's nice to see him playing without fear as far as the knee injury. And you can come back from something like that and still play tentative, but I think he's just coming out and playing like Tevin Wetzel would play. And have you noticed that too, as far as, he's not playing to protect anything.
Yeah, it scares me to death, but
sure.
he comes out and he plays like Tevin. But, when you go back to, post-injury and kind of figuring out the difference, from, the initial thinking needs some surgery and all that kind of stuff to, his current status is, he's put in a ton of time in PT. And I think that time in PT really made him confident in his leg and, him being able to come out and play right away. So it was, I give his physical therapist a lot of credit for that one. That was big, and he's definitely just a different kid when it comes to, he just can't. There's no whoa in Tevin. So, he's going to come ready to play every night.
It's National Peanut Butter Day today. Crunchy or creamy?
Oh, creamy. Crunchy's gross.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't like it. It just tastes like peanuts. I'll just take a handful of peanuts then.
Favorite jelly to put with a PB&J?
Yeah, I kind of like jam. I like a little more, which is kind of funny because I don't like the crunchy peanut butter, but I like some fruit in my jelly.
You're just weird.
But I'm kind of a raspberry.
Really?
I like raspberry. Okay. Raspberry's a little tastier to me.
It's also Library Shelfie Day. I don't know what that means, but when was the last time someone didn't ask you to get something down from the top shelf?
That happens quite often at the day house. I don't know why we have tall shelves because my wife can't reach them, but that happened in the grocery store. It's not uncommon to be asked to grab stuff off the top shelf at the grocery store. So that's one of the, it's a good and bad thing to be tall, but sometimes you got to help people out.
Who's more likely to ask you for help at a grocery store, a little old lady or a guy?
Definitely the little old lady. I've had very few gentlemen ask for help. I think they'd crawl up the thing before they'd ask for help.
I definitely would. Well, I mean, I know you, so I could say, hey, Coach, can you grab down that, and it's only on the second shelf, so you probably have to bend down to actually get it for me. But hey, good luck this week on the road Thursday, back at home on Saturday. Looking forward to, I could probably reuse the interview from last week for next week for Crosstown, but we'll get something fresh.
Yeah, it's
quick turnaround.
To me. Yeah, I gotta start thinking about how to get ready for those guys again next week. But 1 week at a time, 1 game at a time. So
there you go, Coach. Appreciate it as always. Good luck this week. We'll chat next Tuesday.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Brandon Day, head coach of Helena High boys, joining us off the wall Mancave here on a Tuesday. Quick break. Oh, I wanted to get to Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. Since we just talked to Coach Day, we're going to give it to the Bengals boys basketball team. The way they came back, didn't panic in the Bears' den, fell behind 18-5, went on a 41-18 run to end the game to get the victory in Crosstown. I think that's 3 straight now in Crosstown for the boys, but it was a big win. So that's our Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. And if you need anything done to your vehicle to enhance its performance, Auto Concepts is the place to go here in Helena. Quick break. We'll come back and talk to Jefferson coach Aubrey McMaster. That is next. This is the Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Winters in Montana can be cold and snowy, so let Auto Concepts set up your vehicle with a remote starter system. A remote starter will get your car or truck warmed up on those cold Montana mornings before work or taking the kids to school. Auto Concepts is also the go-to place for everything to enhance your ride, from bumper guards to bed rugs and tonneau covers too. Let Auto Concepts make your commute or drive comfortable. Auto Concepts in Helena, the auto enhancement professionals. For more than 20 years, Off-the-Wall Advertising has built a track record of success helping businesses like yours across the state of Montana. While working with hundreds of businesses, including Jason Walker Media, they have developed a system for success. Off-the-Wall Advertising utilizes indoor advertising, placing professional billboards in high-traffic locations. Let Off-the-Wall Advertising show you how to get the return on investment you expect from every advertising dollar. Off-the-Wall Advertising, along with the Jason Walker Show and Continental Divide Radio, have packages for even more bang for your buck. Contact Off the Wall today at offthewallmt.com to schedule a free consultation.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes. crafting homes that last for generations.
There's only one place in Helena to cure your craving for Cajun cuisine, and that is Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys and catfish to jambalaya and much more, Cafe Zydeco has the best Cajun this side of New Orleans. And Cafe Zydeco cares about those that take care of us. Military, law enforcement, first responders can get your drink free as a way of saying thank you to those that protect us every day. If you're looking for a place to grab lunch or dinner, get the flavor of the Big Easy in Big Sky Country at Cafe Zydeco on Euclid in Helena.
Summer, the season to work hard, play hard. The days are heating up and getting longer. The smell of fresh cut grass, the hot sun on your skin. We kidding. We all know you're really thinking about having fun and relaxing at the Copper Club Casino. Meet your friends for a cold one. Play a $5 or $2. When you want great service, cold drinks, and fun entertainment, this is the place. The Copper Club Casino, where everybody knows your name any time of year. On Euclid, across from Molendi Center, the Copper Club Casino.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. Final segment on this Tuesday, the 23rd of January. Make sure you check out Continental Divide Radio for all of your music of your memories. Over 70 years of music, including this one from Dexy's Midnight Runners. What a great tune. I think this has to be one of the top 10 most influential songs of the 80s. Influential's how to maybe describe the Jefferson girls basketball team. They're ranked 5th in the double A Class B in the power polls from 406mtsports.com. They are on a roll. They've won 9 in a row as they head into play tonight at East Helena. And joining us now to talk about that game and her team, 3 games this week for Jefferson. Here's the head coach, Aubrey McMaster, on the Jason Walker Show.
All right, Coach, we were kind of just chatting about this, but take me back to your playing days when cold weather and those yellow school buses that you had to travel on. How did you, as a player, prepare for it?
Blankets. I know that girls bring blankets on the buses as well, but I mean, yeah, it does get really cold, and road games are hard. But you just got to dress warm. I mean, I guess living in Montana and playing a winter sport, that's just what you deal with.
Did you play better or worse when you were a player after traveling in the cold?
Ooh, probably worse. I guess I've never really thought about it, but I mean, that is just another thing to add on top of it, along with traveling and it being super cold. I guess it could be distracting too, because all you're thinking about and all you want to talk about is how cold it is outside.
Well, you know, and it's crazy too, because you walk into gyms and sometimes they're chilly and it takes a while to get warmed up as a player even. Yeah. And as a player, it's worse than better than being a coach, because at least you get a chance to get warm a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
I think some gyms do it on purpose. When the visitors come in, they cool it down.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Or make it super hot.
Oh yeah, there's that too. Yeah. Big win for you guys, 9 in a row now. Big win on Friday night. Mackenzie Lang leading the way with 18, but who knew she could hoop as well as she played volleyball and apparently runs track?
I know, yeah. It's definitely an all-around athlete.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely is, and congratulations to her for signing with Coach Arnson in Providence. Mentioned the big win, though. Great second quarter for you guys. What changed after that first quarter in which you led by 4, but a huge run, I think 21-3 in that second quarter?
I mean, I guess we try not to worry about the score too much and just play how we want to play against each team, which is pretty much the same every time. But so we just kept going. We were ahead, so that was nice. But just keep doing what we're supposed to do, and and it ended up working out.
I know Mackenzie was the top with 18, but great balance after that. Brooklyn Miller, Cameron Toney had 9. Arena Fowler and Ryan Eveland each had 8. I mean, you have that high scoring output, but then you need that balance, and you guys are definitely getting that right now.
Yeah, it is really nice too. Because Mackenzie's a great player, so, and everybody knows it. So of course they're going to try to shut her down, but it's nice to have some other scorers as well step up in each game.
We're talking with Jefferson girls coach Aubrey McMaster here, Jason Walker Show. You got 3 games this week, one of them non-conference at East Helena. How did this come about? Because this is going to be a fun game tomorrow night or Tuesday night down there in East Helena.
Yeah. I think our athletic director, Sarah Lang, has been trying to get us a good schedule the past couple years when she was coaching too. She's trying to move away from the far road games. I mean, last year we played Shoto in Shoto,
Ew.
which was a lot. So, I think she's just trying to keep it a little closer and get some Class A teams in there, which is really nice, and it's good to get different looks. So I'm super excited to play East Helena because they've been having a good year.
Well, and they're still young. They're challenged, but they have Diamond Root, who is a very good basketball player. I'm interested to see that matchup tomorrow night against her, especially. Do you put Mackenzie on her? How do you defend Diamond?
Well, Mackenzie could play great defense. The thing is, sometimes it is hard for me to pick a defender because they're all playing great defense. And with Mackenzie being such an offensive threat, I worry about her getting tired on the defensive end. But, Brooklyn Miller has also been playing great defense, and she has a really athletic body, and it's about the same height as Diamond. So we have a couple different options.
Do you prefer to play man or zone?
I prefer to play not zone. Like, I don't like a 2-3, but we put in a 1-3-1, so I love that.
Okay.
To press. But in the half court, I also love our man defense.
Because in high school, you see a little bit of both, and you've got to trust your players to make smart decisions as in man. Obviously there's switching involved and everything like that. It's so intricate nowadays. It's not just guard your defender and follow them wherever they are.
Yeah.
It's a little bit not old school. But when you play that 1-3-1, do you like to put length up on top, or do you keep that kind of in the back or in the middle?
Yeah. I usually have my 2 bigs. Arena does a great job in the middle.
Okay.
So she goes to get those steals on the passes, and she's awesome at flying around. And she's a senior, so she has been playing on varsity for the past 3 years. So she is smart back there for sure. And then, with Cameron Toney and Ryan Evelyn, they've both got long arms and are tall. So I usually start with them up front, and then we, for sure, every game get in some foul trouble. So have to switch it up a little bit. But I do like to start with height up front for sure. Get those long arms up there.
After East Helena, you've got Lone Peak at home and then Manhattan on the road Thursday and Saturday this week. 2 very important games. There's only 8 games left in the season, in the regular season, but very winnable games too, potentially.
Yeah. It's nice to have Lone Peak come here because that's not a very fun road trip. So that'll be a fun game. And it is nice because we've played both teams already, so we kind of know how we personally match up with them and hopefully get a couple good practices in between each game before we head on to Manhattan, because I know that will be a tough game for sure.
When you have a schedule like this with Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday games, how intense are practices in between those games?
I mean, not super intense. Like last week, we had a really intense week of practice just because we only had one game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this week we'll take it a little easier. I mean, they are in great shape, so I don't worry about them getting super tired. But we don't really go up and down the court a lot during the pregame practices, especially if we have a couple other ones later in the week.
I got a question to ask you. I saw this on Twitter the other day, and I've thought about this for a long time since doing play-by-play. When you're describing a post player or just in general a girls basketball player, and the Twitter post said, don't call them big, but they're a big. And that's so how do you as a woman coach and as a woman player advise a play-by-play guy like me to describe a big girl in a way that doesn't sound bad? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I mean, personally, I always call them big. I don't see any other way to call them. I don't know. I think people are a little soft, but I don't know what a different way to describe them is. I guess you could call them a post, a tall post.
Because it's frustrating because you want to and I'm a girl dad, so the respect, all of that, and not to be, the sexist or anything like that. It's not meant to be that way. It's just describing a player, and no different than you would a guy player. I mean, it's a big dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and girls are weird too. I mean, they hear big and they're like, they think like ginormous, like, right. Oh, I'm so huge. And but I mean, that's really not the case. Being big is actually a good thing for sports.
And I've talked to Coach Sayers about this over the years too, when I was doing Carroll games. But to describe a girl who's athletic, built as in muscular, and has a good frame. I mean, it's very hard as a male announcer to
I'm sure it is actually.
So, because you don't want to do that. You don't want it to sound bad. So it's kind of it's when you're describing a player that is very physically fit, but you don't want it to sound bad, and it's tough.
Yeah.
So I'm asking for advice here.
I don't know. I truly don't know.
Okay.
Because I mean, they are big, so that's what I call them.
Because I mean, can you say woman, so. Can you say fit? I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, or athletic, or in shape. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very tough. It's a fine line. Yeah. And because you don't want to offend anybody these days.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
But
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, and I saw it on Twitter and it reminded me the other day about it, and I'm very careful during women's games, but
yeah, I'm sure you have to be. Yeah.
Let's see. Nothing major. I did want to ask you this: National Pie Day is Tuesday. Favorite pie?
I mean, I am weird. I don't really enjoy like the classic boring pies, but I will go for a good like cherry pie or chocolate pie. So the ones that aren't actually really pies, more cakes.
I've gotten into watching the Great British Bake Off a lot. So, yeah, very, very, very good show. But pies have to be covered. I didn't know that. That's what makes, so you have to have a topping or like enclosed, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I am definitely not a baker.
So you're not into the apple pie or apple crisp?
I'm not. Okay. I know that's so weird. I think, I'm really weird. So one time when I was a kid, I ate it was either cheesecake or pie. And then I got sick a little bit after. So the rest of my life, I'm just like, yeah, I don't like that.
Well, to this day, I don't eat broccoli because of that. I got sick on it when I was 5.
That's a
So
good point. Yeah.
Cooked broccoli.
Yeah.
I can have raw broccoli, but not cooked.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Same.
That's a little different.
Yeah. I think you and I would get along at a dinner really well because we know what we want. We're not picky. We just know what we like and don't like.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I agree, Coach. Thank you. Oh.
Yeah. And I don't want to try new things. I know what I like.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Get 3 wins this week.
Okay, we will try our best.
Good luck. Keep the girls fresh, and we'll chat down the road here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Aubrey McMaster joining us, the head coach of Jefferson in the Off-the-Wall Mancave at East Helena tonight. Boys and girls games should be a couple of good ones at Vigilante Gymnasium. I don't know if they've named it yet. I wonder if they can name it Jason Walker Show Gym. Well, we'll see. Let's do On This Day in History. It is January the 23rd. On this date in 1879, U.S. National Archery Association formed in Crawfordsville, Indiana. It's a big day for the Detroit Red Wings. 1943, they scored an NHL record 8 goals in one period. And a year later, in 1944 on this date, the Red Wings scored 15 goals against the Rangers. An NHL record 37 points, also a record consecutive goals and most lopsided game at 15-0. Happy birthday today, Jerry Kramer, great Green Bay Packer, born on this date, 1936, in Jordan, Montana. Happy birthday, member of the Montana Football Hall of Fame. Let's do this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
The walk-off presented by Cafe Zydeco, where the Big Easy meets the Big Sky. Stop in for the best Cajun this side of New Orleans. Great show today. Had a lot of fun. Look forward to doing it tomorrow. If you missed anything, you can go to JasonWalkerShow.com. Also, JasonWalkerMedia.com. Check out Continental Divide Radio. And great music of your memories. If you miss me that much, you can watch on SWX tonight. I'll be doing Corvallis at Hamilton doubleheader on SWX starting at 5:30, I believe, or 5 and 6:30 out of the games. Thanks to Aubrey McMaster, Brandon Day, Logan Todorovich. Tomorrow, Katie Garson-Forba, Ben Dudek, Guy Almquist. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for the Jason Walker Show.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.